Longitudinal magnetic waves extend the aging process of plants. This is fractal physics. Okay, here's a website. It looks very interesting. I've had a quick look at it already. The authors seem to be from a group called the First Transfer Center of Scalar Wave Technology, Villingen, Germany. Let's take a look at the article. For several decades, the exciting question has been at the center of scientific research on whether and how aging processes can be influenced. In the following, therefore, the question should be investigated to what extent the increase in the ATP level, ATP equals adenosine triphosphate, the energy molecule of life, can influence the life extension of a biological organism, here a plant. Furthermore, it should be investigated whether scalar waves, which have been described as carriers of energy and information in many publications, are able to cause an ATP increase in the scalar wave plant. Scalar waves are two of three possible wave types: the electromagnetic wave in 1888 discovered by Heinrich Hertz, the electric scalar wave discovered by Tesla around 1890, and the magnetic SW, I think here meaning scalar wave, which plays the crucial role in biology. However, until now the scalar waves have not been recognized by the physicists because they are not describable with the Maxwell equations. It is important to know that the third equation, div B equals 0, was extended by the Helmholtz Society in 2009, div B greater than 0, by the discovery of magnetic monopoles. Unknowingly, this discovery results in scalar waves. While the Hertzian waves have a transversal wave characteristic, whose propagation front separates spherically from the center with fundamental quadratic decreasing of energy density, the scalar waves are longitudinal waves, which are based on a direct trajectory from the sender to the receiver. The energy emitted by the transmitter is completely collected again by the receiver. This applies, however, only in the so-called resonance between transmitter and receiver, which requires the same waveform, the same frequency, and the opposite phase, but which was technically already considered as a rule. This is also a necessary condition for the energy transfer, which Tesla had already demonstrated and which cannot be represented with the Hertzian waves because of the quadratic decrease. In Figure 1, the characteristic of the wave types are compared. Properties of the wave types: transverse wave, electromagnetic wave, Hertz, e.g. radio wave, energy dissipation, propagation spherical with V equals C equals constant, longitudinal wave, electrical or magnetic scalar wave, e.g. radio wave energy, Tesla, or DNA, Mayer. Energy conservation towards the electric or magnetic field pointer with V equals arbitrary. Figure 1, comparison of the properties of both types of waves. The so-called magnetic wave, first discovered by Mayer, in which the directional vector of the wave coincides with the magnetic pointer, is typically used in the biological context, while technical applications mostly use the electric wave already used by Tesla wave. Nature uses the magnetic scalar wave instead of the electrical Tesla wave. This can also explain why it is possible for up to 10,000 different biochemical transactions to occur in each cell every single second, a process that cannot be explained by the conventional transaction model of mainstream chemistry. As shown in the book DNA and Cellular Radio, the DNA is an important transmission way of scalar waves, as also are the so-called microtubules in the plant cells. Thus, one can assume that the cell not only communicates intracellularly with the help of its own generated scalar waves, but also intercellularly with other cells throughout the whole organism. As a scalar wave, SW, source for the experiment, a more recent development of Mayall's experimental device, the so-called cell radio, was used at a power of 7 megawatts for 90 seconds. Jumping forward to the conclusion, in summary, SW, scalar wave absorbing plant polyphenols, seem to activate oxygen-dependent mitochondrial activity, increasing ATP levels. This, as the experiments have shown, can have a lifespan prolonging effect on plants. Observations in the past have already shown that polyphenols have lifespan prolonging effects via the so-called SIRT mechanisms. Further experiments will certainly contribute to clarify this complex of questions